Up, family? This your boy Pastor D. I'm coming back again, one more time, and I want to talk about the subject. I'm not your friend. We live in a time where a lot of parents have embraced their kids as their friends. They let them talk to them as though they're they're equal to them, or that, for lack of better word, that they buddies. You know, it was a time that when we grew up, that we had a level of respect for our parents. We didn't. If they called us, we say, "Ma'am." If a father called sir, mannerism. We had that back in those days. If we was in the streets and we came across adults, we had respect for them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. No, sir. And some people say that's a southern thing, and it may just be, but we was taught to respect adults, and if our mama said something to us, we couldn't just say something back because she would actually chastise us for talking back. Um, But it helped us grow up to have a level of respect for our parents. You know, it really did. It helped us have a level of respect. But nowadays, kids talk to parents as though they're equal. Um, the parent tell them something, they got something right back to say. We had a level of respect that if my mama told me to do something, I did it. If I didn't like what she said, I would I was careful about mommy and stuff because my mom was something she probably would have slapped me in the face. Um, if I responded back in a way that was inappropriate or came I can't disrespect, but she would chastise me. So I already knew that it was a certain way I had to approach my mom because she taught us to respect her, that she was the adult, that what she said goes, you know. And I didn't always agree with everything she said, but I had to respect it. Nowadays, a lot of kids don't have that. And that falls back on the parents because when they was younger, smaller, little Johnny was small and the parents were the parents would think things are funny. They went and straightened things up when he was smaller. They thought it was funny. I brought up a subject about a little boy they called him Thuggish, and he was like 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, into my little Thuggish. So they was planting seeds on this boy. So as he grew up, they grew up in him, Thuggish. You know, um, but you're not your kid's friend. You got to teach them to respect authority. You got to teach them to respect one another. You got to teach them to show love for one another, and teach them to be able to have a level of respect for everybody. I remember my mom when I was growing up. She had me to just be respectful. I mean, she chastised me. And when I train, I talk a lot about what she did and how she raised me. Um, she taught me to respect adults. Now, some adults, when I was growing up, some of them did not right. Some of them did some things that would provoke you to anger, to provoke you to come at them a certain way. But I was always cautious that if I did come at them a certain way, well, my mom find out. And if by chance there's a chance she can find out what I'm doing, I would kind of rethink what I was going to do because I knew that she wasn't going to tolerate that kind of behavior. Parents, you got to get back to really teaching your kids that you're the authority figure and they have to respect and honor and do what you tell them to do. That starts when they're way young, when they first coming out of the womb, as their baby's raising up. You got to train them and teach them the right way. The Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get old, they won't depart from it. It didn't say raise, it said train. It's reason why you need to train them and teach them so they can be a part of them. I'm not going to say they're going to be perfect, but they got a foundation that they can stand on because you taught them what was right. You taught them the foundation of what they need to know. And another thing, they taught us when we was growing up to love God. They taught us to be respectful. So that stayed with us. I'm almost 40 years old now, and I still have respect for those around me. I respect authority. I respect. Now, at the same time, I can hold my ground when things are not right. When people come at me a certain way, I know how to be a man. I know how to hold my ground, but I know how to do it in a way that's class, and I know how to do it in a way to get my point across, but not actually be disrespectful. You know, um, and I learned a lot of things along the years, but they all came from a foundation. What I'm getting at is, parents, you really got to get back to really teaching your kids to respect you first. Respect you first. then teach them to respect others. You know, you can't back your kid up when they're wrong and they're being disrespectful. No, you need to straighten them out. If I would have cussed at an adult and my mom was around, she'd have beat the brakes off me. Even if the adult was wrong, and no, you're the child. You stand in the child's place. That's not being taught like it was back in the days, you know. But I thank God that I was given that foundation because now I have a level of respect for adults and I have a level of respect for people in general. So you got to get back to saying, hey man, I'm your parent. But parent, one of the things that we are lacking nowadays is lead by example. A lot of parents are lacking lead by example. You know, in the old days they say, do as I say, not as I do. They used to say that too. But I had like people like Houston White, Bishop Houston White that led by example. I had people like Bishop A.T. Jones that led by example. I had different people that taught me the ways of God and led by examples that I had to follow. So parents, what you mirroring for your kids to see? I preached a message a long time ago, and it says our future is looking back at us. Well, that future that's looking back at you is in your house right now, and I want to know what you're teaching that kid right now in your house. You know, we as a people as a whole got to get back to training our kids, teaching our kids, um, teaching about finances, teaching about resources, but most important, teaching about respect and stand up for what's right. Teaching respect, teaching to stand up for what's right. You know, I think that's a good thing that we should do in this time that we live in. Start getting back to teaching our kids what they need to know, and if we can do that, man, we can make a great impact in the community. One of the things that we're doing overall, we're trying to reach kids in a way to where we doing certain outreaches and different things of that nature to give them tools to kind of reach back. But I want to encourage you, man, not to raise your kid as though they're your friend. You know, you're the parent. You're gonna teach them what's right. You're gonna lead by example. Not do as I say, but do not do as I do. Not do as I say, but do as I do. Bishop Jones used to say something a long time ago. He said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." If you see me there, if you see me straight, don't follow me no more. Continue to follow Christ and pray that I be restored. And because he said that and he held on to that, people watched him and they followed him as he followed Christ. And if he failed, they continued to follow him because they were taught to follow Christ. So he lived by example. Follow me. Give you something to watch. My boys, when they were smaller, be like, "Boy, do you see your daddy doing it?" They be like, "No, sir." I said, "Well, I want to catch you doing it." You know, I just showed them and led by example. I think that is important nowadays, that we really got to lead by example to teach our kids the right way. And what you don't know, learn. You know, there's so much resources out there for you to learn. Get it. You know? Um, but you're not your kid's friend, man. You got to get back to teaching them and training them in the way they should go. And if you can do that, you can create something great for them and for you. Train up a child in the way they should go when they get old. They won't depart from it. So get back to teaching your kids. God bless you.